Yes, sir. Yes,
We
sir.
with another one.
Go ahead, bro.
I'm here with
Big catch,
CDC
dog.
Catch Dog Concepts, Duro Ricio Bully Camp, aka Mr. Duro Bulls, because that's what
You
we
already
make
know.
over here. Duro Bulls.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
understand that. It's a beautiful thing. This is the Doro Lounge, so we ask everybody to kick back, relax, come on the show, check everything out. You know what I'm saying?
Lounging
This
hard.
is lounging hard. Okay. So we're
Yes,
gonna
sir.
talk about dog pedigrees. And dog pedigrees is very important. Regardless if anybody told you that they're not, they are lying to you. And tell that person to stop lying because they are very important. They are. Um, so let me just ask you a question.
Hmm.
Uh, would you buy a dog that has no pedigree?
It's a great question. Uh, there's different options you can weigh out. Say if that dog is health tested, comes back clear of everything, hips are good, elbows are good. That could be a plus, or that could be a certain thing that would be good. But then you got to play in traits, what this dog's grandparents or parents were like. So that indicates what he'll be like, how he's around children, or simple things like that when it comes to genetics. Because, like I
Okay.
said, health, the dog can be health tested and be clear of everything. But
Mhm.
if you don't have the genetics, if you don't understand the genetics behind the dog, you basically got a wild card. Like like some dogs might be clear, but every dog on the line might have died at a certain age.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
there's a lot of, so
Yeah.
I'd say no, just
And if every
because
dog die at 7, then what does that say?
something's wrong. There's an issue.
Right.
So no, I wouldn't, because I gotta know. I want to know.
Right.
I mean, color isn't excuse me, isn't a hurry, or like a I gotta know. I gotta know, because colors change on dogs too. Um, they can change once they get older. Some
Hunter,
dogs
what up,
gray. What up, Hunter? My guy.
bro?
It's my dog birthday too. Everybody tell me happy birthday, man.
Hey, bro. Nothing but love.
But yeah, colors change, so that's not of importance to me. But it is also this color.
Okay.
That is another health issue. Say you have a
Yes.
Borble, like a breed that I'm real into. You have a Borble, and they throw a blue in the line because something else was bred into them. But
Hmm.
that dog comes back 100% Borble now. It throws a blue. That dog can have skin conditions, can't be out in the sun too long, or have issues being in the sun, especially with his eyes, because Dobermans have that issue. Their eyes, they
Right.
will be they pretty sure it leads to blindness. I might be wrong. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure you have eye issues that come with the dog that has blue eyes or a blue coat. You have skin
Mhm.
issues or eye issues with the blue coloring.
Absolutely. I got a
And
blue, so
then
I got.
I know there's a lot of black Borbles. I like them; they look good, but that how long can that dog be out in the sun with that black coat? You
Right.
know, black attracts heat.
Right.
I mean, that's why your leather seats are always hot in the car during the summertime. So, how much
Right.
work can this dog do? Do I have to keep an eye on
Mhm.
this dog while he's sitting outside? He may not be directly
Yeah.
in the sun, but he
It's
gonna
still
get the
hot out.
cooking. Yeah, and
Right.
his coat is black, so
Hmm.
there's gonna be issues. So in the
Hmm.
short answer, no, I would not take a dog that doesn't have a pedigree, even if it does come up clear of any genetic tests or deficiencies.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Because that's kind of so everybody that's watching, I'm sharing Doro notes. Doro notes is what I have specifically for my program, my notes, everything that I got down. I use my legal pass. So I'm going to share a little game with everybody um, that know about dogs and pedigrees and everything that's important that comes with it and why it's important because it really is. Now, my first ballpoint that I have is you want to review the pedigree before you breed the dog. And the
Mm,
reason why you want to review the pedigree is because you don't want to breed dogs with bad genetics, like CDC just said, okay? Or diseases that it inherited from its parents. You
right.
don't want to do that. We kind of talked about that the last episode as well. Um, so, what is an inherited disease? It could be hip dysplasia, it could be hypothyroidism, it could be cherry eye, it could
Mm-hmm.
be so many other things that your dog can get from his parents and it can pass on to puppies. So why is it important for you to look at these things before you breed your dog and have your dog have health tested before you breed your dog as well? If you want to produce and have a steady program that you can have for many years and your name be solid for many years, then what you want to do, you want to make sure you have a dog that have that has been health tested, that has a good pedigree. We're gonna get down the line. We're gonna talk about the disadvantages of having a pedigree dog. We're gonna talk about that too. But right now we're gonna talk about why it's beneficial to have one. All right. So when you get a dog from a breeder, a lot of them are not gonna tell you about the breed that they have. So you're gonna have to do. That's why I always say in every live or every interview or whatever we do, I always say know your breed,
Yeah.
because if you know your breed, then you're gonna know. Okay, you're gonna know
And
what
even then, not to cut you off, some dogs are different. They so some will be out of standard. This could be off of a breed practice or
Absolutely,
just where the dog how the dog came up.
absolutely.
So but it's always gonna be good to know at least the borderline of what you'll get from a certain dog or a certain breed once you buy it or look into it.
Hmm. Absolutely.
Yes,
That's
sir.
that's that's good right there. By the way, you know what I mean?
Appreciate that, man.
Yeah. Round of applause. Man, round of applause for that right there, man. That was good. So
Thank you.
what
Thank
people is not going to talk about? People is not going to talk about that some breeds is best not to be bred. Some of them
you.
have a healthy life being spayed and neutered. People are not going to tell you that
When is the
because,
right time to spay a dog though?
okay, so most of the time you want to let, if it's a puppy, you want to let her become about 6 months.
Okay.
Okay.
That's
Sometimes
the
she,
earliest.
that's the earliest. Sometimes you want her to have her first heat before
Yeah.
she get fixed,
Yep, I've heard
because
that
that
a couple
can regulate
times.
the
Yeah.
hormones and all of that stuff.
Yeah. And would you
Um,
say that's for like what about the mastiff breeds, the bigger breeds that may grow at a slower rate or mature slower than the other breeds?
and I think you probably want to wait till like a year old, if I'm not mistaken. Am I right?
Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure
So
you're correct. Yeah.
you could tell
Because
me.
there's a lot of issues comes with that if you wait if you do it too early because their bones are still developing. Um I mean, and like you said, hormonal issues. This can be a lot of problems with the mastiff or the bigger dogs. So then then you got a mastiff. His bones is they might break because they haven't developed all the way. So
Absolutely.
there's a lot of things that comes with that. So yeah, I think 1 years old is going to be the that perfect time or that right time to do it.
Right. Because I don't know everything about the master breeds.
Right.
I'm a bulldog guy, but I'm also able to, I know some things, and I'm also able to ask you if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Rockside, what up? Yellow, what up?
What's up, y'all?
Got the bros in here. Yellow, I'm gonna drop the link, bro. Everybody who want to come up on the panel, we could talk about what we the task on hand or whatever. Um, but yeah, that's important. So like the master breed, also
Hmm.
you want to make sure, a lot of people get tricked by the master breed. That's another thing that we could talk about, because a lot of people see this dog as a puppy at 6 months and they think, oh, I can breed this dog I mean, I could get this dog. Uh, Actually, I was gonna say that, but what I was gonna say before I said that was the weight because it's 6 months and it's so big. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So you say, "Oh, okay, we're gonna put this weight on the dog."
Right.
Okay, and that goes into what you were saying about the joints and the bones.
Yeah,
And you damage a dog when you do that, when you put too much weight on them
for
too
sure.
early. So you'll tear shoulders up, you'll tear legs up, you'll tear so many things, man, that'll
Most
cost you
definitely.
money that most of the average customer is not gonna want to spend when it comes to that.
No. And
Uh,
one thing with that, like the Great Dane, the dogs that get real tall, people already are afraid. Some are afraid. The more experienced or people that are more knowing of the dogs, they'll be like, "Man, I don't know about those taller dogs. They have those like the hip issues, joint issues."
yep,
And some people, even the Great Danes, when they're growing, their back end will grow before their front end, so they'll be kind of like this. Sometimes it might be extreme, and some people think, "Oh my God, it's forming hip dysplasia."
right,
I say wait, give those supplements, those joint supplements, the fish oils, the certain supplements. Duro probably know a little bit more about the supplements more than I do because I'm still
absolutely,
studying in the field on that.
absolutely, absolutely. I do. Glucosamine is one of them. You
Okay,
want to make sure you have Dickie Foster. What up, brother? Salute, man.
salute, baby.
You know what I mean? Glucosamine is definitely one of them that you want to have. You want to definitely make sure your dog got, you know, some fatty, acids and omega threes and all of those things. Vitamin A is important as well. A lot of people don't get their dogs vitamin A, and that helps the eyes and the overall well being of the dog.
Yeah,
So
a lot
you
of a
want
lot
to
of stuff can be fixed by dietary
absolutely.
practices. Also, you can switch up something. Yeah, it's definitely a
Man,
lot you can prevent with the great diet in the beginning from the
round of
jump.
applause for that, man.
Yeah, like starting out with a good diet, even getting the asking your vet, what do you think would be a good diet to start for my breed or my certain dog? Because like I said, not all dogs are the same. So some come with different things, or some might grow faster or slower. Even the mastiff, some might grow a little quicker. Um,
Mhm,
so just always ask your vet, ask people
mhm.
like Duro. He was a vet tech. I can ask him certain things, and he'll give me some good information. If he doesn't know, he'll try and find out. He'll do some research, or he'll go back to like his notes, like he's reading now.
Or I asked Chelsea.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
100%.
She's still a vet tech, but
Oh yeah, that is right. Yep. Shout out to Chelsea, man,
yeah,
for
you know
sure.
what I mean. Round of applause for Chelsea, man.
Yes, sir.
So
But
I
yeah,
want
what you was gonna say? I was gonna touch a little bit more on the supplemental.
okay, go ahead.
Uh, there's a lot of bone. Like we talked about bone structure. There's a
Yes.
lot that can be fixed with that. Even
Hmm.
prior to breeding, I know there's some supplements for cleft palates. Um, what else? And even for a dog that might not produce as much semen, or they might be low on testosterone, so their semen is low. There's a lot of different supplements for a lot of different things. So I advise everybody to go and look into things. Especially if you want to get into breeding, look into supplements, know your dog's weaknesses, some things they might not be good at as far as structure, um, temperament, training. It's a little bit of training, and then might just be genetic. So,
Right.
but yeah, as far as supplementals, I advise everybody to look into those and whatever you think you might need, man. Read it, research it, and go purchase it if you need it.
Salute, Doug.
Doug, what up,
Thank you.
baby?
Thank you for coming. Doro Lounge.
For sure.
We appreciate the support from everybody that's here that's watching us.
Yes,
You
sir.
absolutely right. One thing for certain, two things for sure though. Me personally, I don't like
Mhm.
to give puppies supplements until a certain amount,
Okay.
a certain age. Like me
Right.
personally, I don't
And
like
you
it
can't
because
even read a puppy's like I said this like with the Great Dane example. You can't read a puppy's structure at 6 months, 8 months. You gotta wait. Like some tests you can't even do until 2 years as far as the hips and the elbows to get an accurate score on where the hips and elbows are at on the
absolutely,
support table. So
absolutely,
yeah, definitely what to judge the puppy's structure, things that might pop up as far as cherry eye, stuff like that. As soon as you
yeah,
see it, I mean, you have to be disciplined. You have to understand the code. You have to code that dog because
right.
cherry eye, that's genetic in a way. I think it's a little bit different, but
Mhm.
dogs will show up with it if a dog before had it. Um, Same thing with bloat. A lot of people don't know that.
Yes, yes,
Yes, sir. If
yes.
you have a dog before you bred it with bloat, there's a chance the puppies or some of the puppies or a puppy will have bloat or will end up getting it. So watch out for that. Ask those questions because
Especially if it's a large breed
yeah,
dog. Sure,
definitely
most of the time they are more prone to the bloat. But I mean,
and
any dog can get it.
right.
Don't don't think they could. They can.
And how Mr. Price explained it to me, he said they staple your dog's stomach to the rib cage to fix it. Once it flip, I think it flips over. I'm pretty sure that's what
Yeah,
bloat is. Your stomach. Yeah. So they staple it to the rib cage so it
mm,
doesn't flip again. But there's still a chance it might do that also
absolutely.
with the staple. So
With the
that's something a
surgery,
lot of people don't want to go through.
yeah,
And
they
it's
don't.
usually an emergency once it happens. So
This
you're gonna
they
be
go
coming
straight
out of
to
some
the
change.
emergency. Yep, yep. They go straight into the emergency vet because that's an emergency. Like you have
Yeah,
to fix that like right away.
yeah, for
Or
sure.
else you'll also, you'll lose your dog. Rottweiler, yep. Rottweiler is definitely one, Doug. Yep.
Doberman.
Doberman,
Yeah,
yep.
for sure. So yeah, just look out for that. Ask those questions.
Yeah. And you kind of jumped ahead of me, but
Mhm.
in my notes, I have the breed standards and I
Yeah,
have having a pedigree, it helps a customer slash consumer um understand the standard of the dog, meaning the size, the health problems that come with it,
yeah,
uh, and what to watch out for.
right.
As you know, like the bulldogs, the pits, the bullies, they have respiratory problems, right?
Yeah,
And Cane Corsos and Beagles, and they have seizures.
yeah.
Um, they're
The
prone to
Great
that.
Danes too. And
Hmm.
then the Dane has been implemented into some of the Mastiffs, even in the
Hmm.
recreation or the reconstruction of these dogs. So it'll
Hmm.
show up at some point, and it's
Hmm.
also a safety hazard for say that dog has that seizure. He don't know where he or she doesn't know where they are, so
No.
they might think somebody tried to hurt them, and they'll
Hmm.
snap on whoever's near them. So
Hmm.
definitely be safe with that.
Especially
The
in
dog,
Thailand.
yeah. And
I've seen
actually,
that.
my dog. Go ahead. Go ahead. What you saying?
No, I just said I seen that. Go ahead.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
My dog, my precious canario, I had RP to my boy Onyx. His brother. I went to school with his brother's owner, and he said he would have seizures bad. Like uh I think he had like one or two in a week or something like that. Like he was seizured out, foaming at the mouth. Had to pay for like a medication, $600, $800. Mind you, this was probably 8 years ago, somewhere around there. So, but still, who wants to pay $600 on top of a dog, which is basically a bill
Right.
already?
Right.
And of course, you love it, but some people just put them down if they have, which I'm pretty sure that family did. They put that dog down, take him out of his misery, and not have to fight to keep him alive or pay for that medication just for him to
Hmm.
live somewhat comfortably.
Hmm. I definitely agree. I definitely agree. And that's what happens because I was in the vet field, and that's what happened in the vet field.
Yeah,
They will put their dog down because they cannot afford the care that
right.
comes with the surgeries or a bad injury. Um, and I just want to speak to my fellas and my dog men and women who work out their dogs. I just want you to be mindful of the joints when you got them jumping up, Be mindful of the joints and the weight of your dog. So don't have a lot of weights on them if they already kind of overweight or they
Yeah,
already weigh a lot. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's natural weight, just to kind of
right.
take that pressure off of the joints, because you'll blow, especially if you got a bully breed, you'll blow those back legs really fast. That's a fact. You don't have to believe me, but I know. You know what I mean? So that's just that's one thing to look at it. Chihuahuas and Shih Tzus, they have bad kneecaps. You know what I mean? Arthritis. I mean that goes in the pits and American bullies as well. But you know, it's different things that a dog have. Different problems that they have, and you just want to be able to make sure that you're paying attention and ask your breeder questions. You know, like what you should be looking out for when
Yeah,
you go and get your dog. You know what I'm
some of them
saying?
might lie. There's a good chance. A lot of we're in the age of lying. I mean, lying has been going on for thousands and hundreds of years, but we're in the age where money is the like I'm saying. It's always been like this, but it's always been the age of man. I got to get this money. I got to get this breeding off. I got to get this puppy off. So they will tell you whatever, whenever to get that puppy away or out of their house, out of their hands. So they might not tell you the truth, but um, know who to talk to. I know some people they get judges to look at their dogs. This is when they show them though. They'll get a professional judge, look at the structure of the dog, and and see where the
Come on up,
faults
Yellow.
are in them. Huh?
No, I was telling Yellow, come on up on the panel.
Oh yeah, come on, yellow. But yeah, some people really study the structure of a dog, which I'm having trouble with now because I don't really know where to look at and what to look at. Of course, I don't have my dog yet, so I can't. But that's something to study just to see where your dog might be weak at, like I said, or where they might have a structural issue, and then tell your breeder, be like, hey, the rear's kind of weak, or it's a little dip, it's a dip in it, something like that. There's nothing wrong with telling your breeder what you see wrong with it, and like I said,
Mm.
asking those questions.
Yellow, what
What
up,
up,
brother?
yellow?
What's going on, fellas? What's going on? Y'all doing all right?
Yes,
Yeah, we good, man.
Okay, okay.
We just happy everybody coming to check out and be here with us on this Sunday night.
yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, for sure. You crept up a little early on me.
Yeah, I did. But that's because we were sitting here backstage and we was like, you know what, man, we about to just go live, man.
Go ahead and do it. Yeah, yeah,
Go ahead
yeah.
and do it. But
But
yeah,
you was
like you said,
talking.
yeah, go
Go
ahead.
ahead, go
Yep.
ahead, Duro. Go ahead, Duro. Go ahead.
No, I was saying you were saying in your comment, yes, it's wear and tear on the joints, and I wanted you to go ahead and talk about.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that the other day when I was in on the yard or whatever, and I was like, man, it's just unnecessary. Cause that's what you really doing. You want to show them, working out and doing the spring pole work, but those are joints, and things are made to not last forever. No matter what it's a human being or an animal or a car. Shit made. Oh, excuse me. Stuff is made to tear up. So just all to just work. I know we want to show our dogs or whatever, show them off and keep them looking good, but I think it should be done when it's like when it's time to maybe get a dog ready for a show or something like that.
yeah,
So yeah, that's what it was just funny that you mentioned it because I just had that same thought, the one day last week. Like I ain't gonna put all this just unnecessary work into the joints because that's all you really doing.
Right.
Yeah, turn the joints down. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I got a bully, Poncho. He 13. He 13 in May,
Dang.
and his hips gone. You know what I'm saying? He can't jump or none of that. He can just run a little bit, walk, but ain't no jumping no more.
Yeah, that's
So
that's the age they start to break down though.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
He lived
yeah.
a
But like
long, he lived a long life though. So
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's still here. He got a good appetite. Eat every day. You know, he 13 years old. But he was born in 2012. Every raises his dog.
Wow.
Born in 2012.
You
May
bred
the
him?
31st. Huh?
Yeah,
You bred him?
Yeah. I produced him and his mama.
Okay. Okay.
Yep, I produced him
What's
and his
up?
mama. Yep,
Yeah,
sure
that's
did.
good to have
Yep.
in your line. That's real good to have in your line.
Yeah,
Just yeah, that longevity. I mean, like you said, his hips might be gone, but that's around the time to start to break down.
yeah, yep. I had
Talk
one
to
dog. Her hips got so bad she couldn't even squat and take a. She couldn't even squat, and she was about 14. She was a bully. She was
dang,
born in 2000 and 2009.
she couldn't go
Hold
to the
on.
bathroom.
She couldn't even
wow.
go to the once she started, got bad. She would just lay on her stomach and just crap and pee. It got bad, and she ended up, she passed away. She passed away in 23. She was born in 2009. Yep. And so she got bad. Her hips went out on her. But I used to make her do all that running and jumping, and she was very athletic. She was a pocket. Her name was
Mm,
Fire. She was about 14 inches tall, just a little bit taller than a
Mm,
5-gallon bucket, a five like a 5-gallon bucket or whatever. Her back came to that bucket, super ripped up, lot of energy, a lot of drive, a lot of prey drive. Um, I used to, tennis ball. Well, she loved to chase the tennis ball.
right.
I did her like that for years, man. Just keeping her
that's what's
worked
up.
up and stuff, keeping her worked up and toned up and I just
So
we huh.
so I'm gonna tell you something, and I'm gonna tell we got one of my best friends up in here, Tamia. She got a German Shepherd. She had her forever. She just said she 10. That's crazy that she gonna be 10 um
Yeah.
this year. But right now, y'all, when your dogs start to get about 7, you want to make sure that they're getting the glucosamine. All right, you want to make sure you're giving them that. Um, and it's like I said, it's different glucosamines that you could give. I don't have none near me right now, but if you go on Chewy, or wherever you go, your Tractor Supply, you could find one. See which one to be the best for your dog, and just hit me, just hit me, like because some certain dogs is certain milligrams is good for, and then certain milligrams is not good for certain breeds. So just hit me because like I know for instance, like from my experiences, my bulldogs they have a sensitive stomach to a higher dose of glucosamine. So where your shepherd Mia, she might be fine with it. You know what I mean? She might be all right on it, but she also a larger breed dog. You know what I'm saying? She is a bigger dog. So she might be better off with a bigger dose. Whereas though my dogs, they can only get like one chew of that if I was to give them that milligram. Because some
Right.
some got different milligrams. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I
Yeah.
say know your dogs and know what you're supposed to do because that's gonna help you and help their quality of life. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Because the glucosamine that helps lubricate the joints. So when you have a dog with arthritis, or you have, joint problems or whatever the case is, glucosamine is gonna help lubricate those joints and even muscles, shrimp, uh, salmon, all of those type of things, man.
Sure.
Uh, blueberries, all those type of things are gonna help with that lubrication of the joints. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? Mac, what up, Mac? You welcome, Mia.
Come on up here, Mac.
If you ain't busy, bro.
What
Um,
what about the hip and joint ones they sell at Walmart, the Pro Sense? You think that's a pretty good one?
I'm not familiar with that, but I'll check it out for you.
Yeah, I've bought it before. No, I've seen it. Put it like that, I've seen it. But
Hmm.
they would sell that, and they would sell like a multivitamin, and I would get the multivitamin, but I never would buy the hip and joint uh
Mm,
supplements.
Hip and joint. I mean, it's kind of like the same. because I'm sure it's for hips and joints, so it got glucosamine in it.
Right.
So,
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
so that's why I said it's because it's different doses of it. So you want to see which one has certain things, and it's going to be other things in there. I wish I had one of mine's nearby. I don't, but um, it has different things in it, and then it can help. You know what I'm saying? The joints, of your dog and stuff like that.
Okay.
Right.
Now,
Is there any phony products out there?
any what?
In what? In
Phony,
what
phony
product?
products.
Phony product?
Like, is there some products maybe one of y'all have tested and we ain't gotta say no names or point. I mean, but it would be nice to just for the public, so they don't know, so they know what not to grab.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you handle that one, Duro. But
Yeah,
it
go
seems
ahead,
like
bro.
you know when you about to say something, so I'm gonna follow
He
back.
dropped the little John. You heard him. He dropped the little John. He got something to say.
What? Like, listen, man. Listen. Bully Max was the biggest joke that ever came out. And then it's a lot of breeders that created supplements that didn't work.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? It just wasn't effective. It was trying to mold, you know, something else after something else, and it just didn't pan out the way that they thought it would.
yeah.
So you want to be mindful of what you're giving your dogs anyway, and that's what I'm saying. Like me
Right.
personally, man, I like to get my stuff from a place that sells dog food. Like I'm not buying it from a place that don't sell
Yeah,
anything for dogs. Like I'm going to the cat cashier place and they got glucosamine. I'm not buying that, man.
right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going to
You
buy
know,
glucosamine.
let me go on. Let me get on.
Oh, you about to get on your?
Not to cut you off, but
About to, you about to say something, man?
so with the like, we not pointing out, but we is Bully Max. I
Trying
think
to
a
be
lot of
nice.
people get caught up in the name, and that's with a lot of things. People get caught up in the name, whether it's theirs or whether it's somebody else's, and they'll be like, "Oh, I got a brand deal with Bully Max. I got a sponsorship with Purina, whatever." I think they get caught up in that, and they don't look at the quality of that product or look at what they're really putting in their dogs. And
That's
I think
perfect.
people, you got to get past the hype, and that's what a lot of things in the dog world. Get past that hype. Get past the name that's sitting in front of you. Look at what's in it. Read the back of the bag. Look up the things that's in the bag. Look up the things that's in the bags. And Bully Max, I'm pretty sure, is like a muscle gainer. They say it's like a muscle gainer. It'll make your dog real muscular or something like that. That's like the whole sale tip of it. I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100%
Can I borrow
sure.
the floor? Can I borrow the floor for 1 second?
Go ahead.
Don't forget what you about to say because you cooking, man. I
Uh-huh.
mean, you cook. Don't forget what you about to say. But I just want to say this, okay? Now, I'm not the one to tell anybody. You got to feed your dog what you have to feed your dog, okay?
Right.
So if you can afford a certain bag of dog food, I understand. Times is hard. I'm not one of those people. But I do want you to be mindful of the cheap dog food. Now, if that's all you can afford, like I said, no, you're not gonna let your dog go hungry,
Right.
starve. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm not saying it like that, but I'm saying just because it's cheap don't mean it's good.
Right.
Because the dollar store got chicken wings for us, and
It's
I'm
good
sure
on
that
you. It's good on your pockets, not good on your dog.
exactly. Round of applause for it not being good on your dog.
Thank you.
Round of applause for that
Appreciate
because
that.
yeah, it's not good for your dog, and
Yeah.
everything is not good for your dog. Is not, it is, bro. So many dogs die from things that people think is benefiting and helping the dog.
Yeah.
And I mean, certain foods, everybody want to create their own dog food and just become a trend. And it's crazy to me because of the simple fact that I know,
Yeah.
but it's crazy to me because it says, like, bro, stop trying to play what you're not and take care of them dogs for real, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not an experiment, it's a living thing. Let's
Feel
treat
you.
it like a living thing. You know what I'm saying? Let's treat it like it's an animal. Now it is an animal. Let's treat it, but let's treat it with some respect. Let's have respect for that animal. Okay? Let's
Yeah.
not just put all types of things in their food and then think that you're helping them. You know what I'm saying? And you
Right.
don't understand why Rover has, bad poops and have, a gastric problem and all
Yeah.
types of stuff. Well, it starts with what you feed them. Now, I wanted to double back to what you were saying, man, because you was cooking. Go ahead.
Okay. So what I'm saying, I think, is because you're right. Some people might not be able to purchase $60 bag of Taste of the Wild or whatever. Which is fine, like you said. Some of that could be breeding. A lot of people breed a skinny dog. This is for those people that breed those dogs with terrible structure. Hold it up like this. Here we have gelato or whatever, you know, and they say, yeah, he's real muscled out. That dog might not be muscled out. Why not? If you want that muscularity, because this is corner cutting, thinking that you're going to buy a dog food and it's going to make your dog super muscled out or muscular, and you don't tone the dog, you don't condition the dog, nothing like that, which will help to some extent, instead of thinking this food is going to magically make your dog muscular.
Absolutely.
I think Lester Cannon said it best in my latest interview. He said, just breed dogs with the genetics of muscularity. Now, what am I telling you to go breed for a dog that just is straight muscled out? No, because there's more things that come with the dog that's muscled out. They may not be able to breathe. They may not be able to move functionally. But if that's a trait you want, build on that. Get a dog from that line that does have the muscularity you're looking after. Stop cutting the corners, fooling yourself and other people, saying, "Oh, this is gonna have your dog. Your dog gonna be muscled out. If you purchase this, go buy it now in my store." It's not gonna work like that. Stop cutting those corners. Go purchase that dog that may have the muscularity you're searching for, and it's gonna take time and money. And people may not have money. We all got the time. We just got to make it for what it is.
Right.
But that's my little piece on that.
But that's true, because a lot of people don't understand that. And I know back a few years ago, it was really, really bad because of the simple fact that people thought that Bully Max or supplement made your dog bigger.
Yeah.
And that's really genetics. It's how the dog is bred.
Right.
It has nothing to do with what you're feeding it. And
Which
it
is
was so many videos. Remember, it was so many videos on YouTube. This what I feed my dog. This what I feed my dog. And none of that stuff.
2020, that's all I was watching was just dog videos with my cousin. Oh, look, my dog he's got all of this. He's so muscular, so big because of this food. Bro, your dog's line has it has a chance to have more muscularity with this pedigree. You're not fool. I mean, they fooled a lot of people. Sold a lot of money with that dog food. Now,
Right.
dog food can put weight on the dog, but not muscularity. Muscularity is genetics. It's just like humans. Muscularity is mainly genetics.
Mhm.
You can push genetics to an extent,
Mhm.
but you got to go get it also.
Yeah, you got to work for it.
Yeah.
You got to be in the gym if that's what you're trying to get. You're trying to build more muscle.
You can get in the gym and push those genetics, but some
Mhm.
people don't want to take the time to do that.
Well, see, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
I think one of the interviews we did when I said you have to walk your dog.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You have to walk
just
your
off
dog.
of the walk.
It's slow. Now the flirt pole and all of that stuff is faster.
Yeah.
It's slow walking your dog, but it works. It's effective.
Right.
Believe it. 30,
Absolutely.
40 minutes a day of walk, your dog be muscled up and ripped up. You
Yeah.
see Bane?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
Yes, sir.
that's what I'm saying. Chanel too. Like that's what you have to put in the work, and you'll get what you want to get out of your dog, but you have
Yeah.
to put in the work. The dog is only going to be as good as you.
Right. Now, can it
You know
go
what I'm saying?
past genetics? Like I said, yes, it can. But then it's on you. You gotta get them out that kennel. You gotta get that. You gotta purchase whatever you gotta purchase, or take that time, as much time as you need. But most people are not gonna do that. Like I said, they're gonna keep cutting corners and not understand that most of these supplements ain't gonna get you where you want to be.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's a fact.
Now I'll say this to that. I
Mm-hmm.
think one of y'all said something about the genetics have to be there, and I agree. You know, it don't matter what you feed. If the genes are there, if the muscle gene is there, then all you got to do is put in a little time to define the gene,
Right.
the muscle gene, to give it more definition. It don't matter what you feed. I know I heard some reviews on Bully Max, and I heard people say that it just made the coat shinier. That's all I heard.
And a
That's
lot
a
of
review
foods can do
that
that.
I heard. Yeah, that's what I heard about Bully Max.
Yeah.
It made the coat shiny on the
Wow.
dog. So
But nothing, but no muscle and no added on muscle or nothing like that, right?
No.
Look, and
Yeah.
check this out. Lester said in our interview, he said, I just grab dogs from a line where they have tighter skin. So then there's definition. And
Right.
well, he did say that his line, of course, is muscular, but tight skin is a part of it. It's more definition. It's gonna pop more. So if you do have a show line dog, go get you a line that has a tighter skin.
Absolutely.
It's simple. I mean, it's simple as that. Of course, it's money,
Simple.
but it's simple as that. Instead of you keep buying a $70 bag of Bully Max, and then you basically spent $1,000 or $2,500 because you keep feeding it thinking it's gonna work, when you could have went and got a dog from another line that has a tighter skin.
I wanted to talk up on a little bit. You're absolutely right with the tighter
Go ahead,
skin,
go
but I
ahead.
also want to say this about the dog food, and especially people who feed raw or feed a dog. You know, they make their own dog food. And listen, I get it. I'm not against it. I'm not saying, yo, you're a clown because you make your own dog food. Listen, man, I don't blame you. I don't trust it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Me, myself, personally, just from what I went through, one of my dogs. So I get it. But at the same time, make sure that your dog food that you're creating has the proper nutritions for your dog. Okay. Don't strip them of nothing. Like, you can't just give them meat and just think, oh, well, yeah, I'm giving them this. So this gonna help.
Argument in itself, but yeah,
It doesn't
Yeah.
work like that.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So now
You
that
can
also,
live off of it, but
that also will give your dog, uh arthritis or joint problems too, not getting the right nutrition.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
NutriPro.
NutriPro.
I ain't never heard of it.
think I heard a dude say he was what? I'm NutriPro. It sounds familiar.
I think is that a vitamin or is that food?
And that thing is like a powder.
Is that a powder?
I think so.
I
Yeah,
think so.
it's a guy. I think that's what he was sprinkling over his dog. He was the berry. He was feeding. He was sprinkling that stuff. He was sprinkling. He was sprinkling that. I think that's what that stuff was called. He was sprinkling over their food when he was feeding. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's why I first heard it. Heard him.
Okay.
I think that's what Joe talking about. I think now.
Well, get that out of here. But it's one of those days, man, and that's what I'm saying. Like, if that help powder raw alone won't work. No, it won't. No, it won't. Raw alone won't work. So just giving it a supplement, it won't work. It's not enough nutrition for your dog to get everything, the proper everything. Where's the healthy grains at for the heart to help develop the heart? You got to understand what the dog needs to survive. You know what I'm saying? if it doesn't, that's why they talk about grain-free diet. Now, people that didn't know, you shouldn't feed your dog grain-free diet because it does not help the heart develop. And if you give it to your dog at a later age, it will give it a heart problem.
I didn't know
From,
that.
yes, from the
Yep.
smallest to the biggest. Okay.
Yeah, we talked
So
about this before off camera. Yeah.
yes, we did.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that you checking and making sure that that food is not grain free. Healthy grains is good for us.
Yeah.
Good for your dog. You know what I'm saying? Whole grains is good for us. It's good for your dogs. So you got to understand, giving them the proper diet is going to give them that quality of life that everybody's looking for. And when I say let's make better dogs, that's one of the things that we have to do. We have to.
Do you
We
think
have
it's
to
a
make.
food table like the humans, like the My Plate? I don't know if you remember that. You might be a little older, but when I was in like middle school, junior high, they had like the My
What
Plate
they call
chart.
that, the pie chart. Like it was
Yeah,
like
meat,
bread,
vegetable,
water.
fruit,
Yeah.
grains.
They had that when I
Yeah,
was in school. Yeah, they had
yeah,
the
Yeah,
same thing. Yeah. And you needed to be, they showed what you needed, yeah, for it to be a healthy diet. And
right.
grains was in the diet, yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely. That's
So
the
it's the
same
same
thing.
thing with dogs.
Yes. Same
Because
thing.
I know I used to feed value pack in the black bag, and it was it would say no wheat, no corn, no soy on the bag. It never said it was grain free, but said no wheat, no corn, no soy. I fed it for forever. You know,
Well, that's good. I wanted to say this because we should stay away from food that have corn in it as well. Dogs can't break down corn, and we can't either.
Yeah,
You see what I'm saying? So
right.
you can't give you shouldn't give your dog corn
there's a few
like
things
raw
that'll
corn.
show up in the dog's poop that they can't
Yeah.
break whole.
Oh, oh,
Like
you ain't lying.
it's a few vegetables, carrots. You give a whole carrot, it's gonna pop back out.
You shouldn't give a whole carrot. You should cut it up if you're gonna give it carrots.
Yeah, even then, like a big chunk, like I'm saying, like a chunk, that'll still,
Yes.
yeah,
But even with the carrots, I sometimes I'll grate them. I'll get
yeah,
a cheese
yeah,
grater, and it
Man.
still and it's still you'll still sit in the poop the
right,
next
Yeah,
day.
you'll still see it, but it won't upset the stomach. Whereas though they have bad gas or
Mm-hmm.
they have diarrhea or anything like that, they won't have that stuff because
yeah,
of the simple fact that you broke it down a little bit more for them.
right.
So that's the thing. If you just give a whole carrot and say, "Hey, here, boy, eat that," well, then yeah, you're gonna have bad gas, you could
Puree it.
possibly have diarrhea and all of that stuff.
Yeah, pureeing it is a good option. Am I correct, Duro?
What you say, brother?
Pureeing like fruit, vegetables, or even blending it and then pouring in the bowl. That's the best way to do it.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah. Absolutely.
that's what I thought.
That's how I do it.
Yeah,
Now, like I say, I don't ask everybody or advise everybody to do what I do, but
right.
I'm just saying that's what I do, and I don't
Yeah,
have those problems. You know what I'm saying? I just break
yeah.
it down.
And it's
Now,
not like
Joe
you're
said,
cutting out any of the nutrients or
no,
you're changing how it is. I know somebody said something about if you put a banana in a smoothie, it's something different happens. I can't remember what it is, but I'm not sure if that's 100% true.
now I don't know what that was pertaining to because when I give my dogs sparingly a banana, I just take my hand, break it up in a bowl, crush it
Yeah,
up, they eat it, they fine. Because
right.
bananas is good for the dogs. It actually help their stomach. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So bananas is a good fruit that you can give your dog. There's a lot of healthy vegetables and fruits that you can give your dog to help. So,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? That's what I do. I like balanced diets. Um, so like for instance, like Joe said, break it down for me. What's in y'all bowl? So y'all can you can say what you used to feed your dog, and Yella, you can say how you feed your dogs, but this is how I feed my dog. So I got about a cup of kibble. I have two meats, whether it's turkey wings or ground turkey or ground beef. Okay. I got on occasions it's a banana, with some apples cut up, okay, or the banana squished up, whatever. Some I might do some blueberries, and I might do um some celery. Celery helps the breath. So I might do some celery in my bowl. And also celery is made of water, so it also help hydrate your dog. Besides them, just drinking water, and I'll put a little bit of water in my dog food just to make it a little bit more moist, so that they can process that poop. They need to go to the bathroom. They can process that poop. Because you ever see your dog and it's pooping and it's like it's pooping, but then it moves again and it has to poop again. Well,
Hmm.
that was because it couldn't process the food. So you want to break that food down and make it easier for them to come out. So it's just like if you had a dog with a anal prolapse, and he went to the vet and got the surgery, and you paid for it. All right, so you're not gonna continue to feed him just regular kibble. You're gonna make that food soft for him until his muscles around the anus get tight enough for it to be able to go naturally by
Hmm.
itself. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's the same thing, whether it's a prolapse or not. Your dog needs something that's going to help it relieve itself.
Right.
So you want to give it the healthy stuff and the grains, and a little oatmeal. It's different stuff that I give Joe. Me personally, during different days of the week. You know what I'm saying? Because they might get a little bit of D earth. You know what I'm saying, this week, and they might like next month. This month coming up, it's time for me to deworm them. So they're gonna get fenbendazole. Whereas last time, 3 months ago, they got pyrantel. You know what I'm saying? So I switch it up and I just do it every 3 months. That's how I deworm them and keep the worms and the other parasites away. So, and then so I might give them a little D earth, and then I might give them some glucosamine, you know what I'm saying? Depending on what I've done with them. If I took them to the field and they ran and they did a bunch of stuff, if I took them, for a very long walk, then I'm massaging those muscles and those legs and all of that just to give them, take some of that pressure and that tightness off. It's just like us if we was on the treadmill, we start to feel our calf, get tight after a while. It's the same thing for your dog.
Right.
So that's what I do. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
But y'all,
I'm on a kibble diet basically.
Yeah. Hmm.
I feed dog chow. I've been feeding that probably about 5 months. I've been on about 5 months. That's what I feed mine. Through the week, I give them some raw chicken, a leg quarter. That's pretty much it. My dogs, they look good. Poop be solid. Um, shit, I can't complain, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what I feed right now. Like I said, I was feeding that value pack. I feed that forever, but I just switched to the dog chow, and they doing good on it. They look good on look good. Like I said, my bully he 13. Well, he'll be 13 in May, and I've never been the type to um uh I've never been a dog food type like let's feed this, let's feed it. I mean, I just like I said, I got the genetics, so it don't really matter, you know what I'm saying, what my dogs eat, you know what I'm saying. Now if I want to maybe if I see what the coat might I want to add a little bit more shine to the coat, then I might get like some salmon oil and put over their food or something like that. But
right,
that's what I feed, man. And sometimes,
right,
like I was saying earlier, I might grate up some carrots and throw over their food. But that's
right,
pretty much that's what's in my bowl though, Joe, for the most part, dog child. Like I said, I've been feeding it for about 5 months. Yep.
right. I I give a little coconut oil. He did say dog child though.
I did. I did a little bit of that in my
Yeah,
day. I did a little bit of that. Yeah.
yeah.
And
I
you
give a
look
little.
at Duro, if y'all look at dog child been around since forever. I ain't never had a recall. Never
Mm.
Man,
had a
I
recall.
lost my dog to Purina, so Purina can go to where the sun don't shine, man. You
Oh,
know what I mean?
you think you say it was the dog? Which one you was feeding?
I was feeding Purina one, man. I was feeding
Oh,
Purina
see,
one.
you try to see. I don't feed that when I feed the that's like the higher grade of the Purina, the
That's
Purina
what.
one.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
I
that.
always fed dog child
It,
whenever I would mess with it.
it's Purina one, and then above that is Purina Pro Plan. That's the higher echelon one, the Pro Plan. But Purina one is under that. But I don't even want to talk about that because I get mad, man, and want to blow Karina stuff up, man. So we gonna keep that moving. But yeah,
Did
coconut oil,
you wanted me to touch a little bit on that or
brother. Yeah, go ahead, brother.
so I did. It was mainly a kibble. I think it was a blue diamond bag. I think that's what it was. We got it from the local feed store. It was mainly kibble, but as I kind of got more into different things I could feed, it might have been seasonal things. Deer hunting is big in my area. He would get some deer, especially if he seen, like I said, he had some health problems too. He's an outside dog, so he caught things more than common than others would. So deer meat, I give that. I mean, that's low fat. So a lot of that, he's breaking down a lot of that. He's not losing much when eating that because it's low fat. I would do
Now,
chicken thighs.
now I'm gonna give you some game real quick.
Uh-huh.
When you talk about venison,
Mm-hmm.
now when you have a venison diet, even a
Mm-hmm.
dog and a person can't really survive off venison
Right.
because it's such a lean meat
Yeah.
that it's not giving you the right protein and the nutrients that you
Oh, this
need.
one consistent, but no, you're right. You are right. Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
this one consistent. Oh, he was still getting kibble with some of that. I give him probably not under half a pound, quarter pound mixed in with food. And then during the week, I might give like 2 eggs throughout the week. He'll get 2 eggs, make his coat shine. Chicken thighs, I would do that sometimes. But this was as I was learning a lot more. And of course, he passed away before I even got the chance to start catch dog concepts. So I was learning a little bit as then. But yeah, I would give some of the fattier food, or the fattier cuts, chicken thighs, and then sometimes the leaner stuff when it got a little colder with the venison.
I got you.
Yes, sir.
My man, Dylan or Dylan?
Dylan, it's Dylan. I messaged him. I made
Dylan.
sure it's Dylan.
Okay.
Shout out my
What
boy.
shout out to you, man. He said boiling the carrot is best. Yeah. I mean, making it soft for the dog to process, chopping it up still, is best when you talk about the carrots and stuff like that. The hard stuff, you definitely listen, man. I don't care what nobody tell y'all. I want to let everybody know a dog is not a wolf. Okay, so
Hmm.
if you give a wolf a piece of corn, a whole piece of corn, that wolf will probably poop that whole piece of corn out. Okay, because the body is different. You give a dog a piece of corn, a whole piece of corn, man, it's gonna have a foreign body. You going to the
Mm.
vet to get that removed. It cannot process that, man. So you have to understand what I mean when I say do not give your dog stuff thinking, oh yeah, go ahead, eat that boy. No, you know what I'm saying? It's not a wolf. It's two different things, man. It's two different things. Trust me, I know. I dealt it. I dealt with it. I've saw plenty of times foreign bodies from the smallest things, man. From toys to socks to bones that you buy at PetSmart, all types of stuff.
Mm.
Chicken bones, people give rib bones 4th of July. Here, boy, eat this. And then you got a foreign body. Okay.
Dang.
Just a fact. I just wanted to show some love and show people, and let y'all know, man. Because if y'all here because y'all love dogs, you know what I'm saying. So if you want a better quality life for your dog, you want to know everything that you need to do for your dog. You know what I'm saying. So you want to make sure. Doro, you definitely cooking on this topic. Rock solid, my brother, man. I love you for life. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. I appreciate everybody for real,
Shout out to
uh,
everybody tuning in, man.
for sure. The crazy thing about food is dogs living their best life on Walmart and grocery store food. Food sits in the bowl all day. Well, when you got a dog who's a grazer and the food sits in the bowl all day, then you should that's you know what, Mac? I'm so glad you said that, man. Cause you know why, man? Round of applause for Mac saying that. Round of applause for Mac saying that because I'm tired of seeing people who got dogs and their dog bowls is dirty. It got green mildew in the bottom of it. Clean your dog bowls. Make sure you clean your give it fresh water, clean your dog bowls. Let's make better dogs. Okay, just like our teeth is important for us. Where if we got bad teeth and bad gums, it affect our heart. It's the same thing for your canine.
Mm.
Okay, so you want to make sure that you're not just doing any old thing. I know you work or you been out. You know what I'm saying. You with your lady. I get it, but take that time to take care of those dogs. Change out that food. You know what I mean. If it been sitting all day, dump it. Give them some more. You know what I mean. Like that's just what you have to do. Sometimes it's like having a kid. You know, your kid is a grazer. You really want to go over there and watch cartoons, but at the same time, you're like, man, you only ate, you know, 2 chicken nuggets. Food gonna be wasted. But you ain't
Right.
gonna sit up there, the food chicken nuggets been sitting there all day. Yeah, you better eat those chicken nuggets. You know, it been
Yeah.
sitting out all day. This dinner. You ain't gonna do that. You know what I mean? So come on, man. Um,
Yeah,
ACR
you know,
blood.
some dogs. I've never had that problem with dogs are like picky eaters. Like my
Uh-huh.
dogs, I put it in the bowl, they smashing it right there. I ain't all of my years of dealing with dogs, I've never had a dog nibble and come back and eat. Never that. Eat a little bit, then come back and eat a little. Because then what's gonna happen? The ants gonna get in it and stuff like that. So my dog, they smash it like soon as I put it in the bowl. Been like
Mine
this
too.
since we've been dealing with dogs. Yeah,
Mine too.
I don't know.
That's how you know when a dog like.
I was in Tractor Supply. This was years ago, and a lady
Mhm.
talking about Diamond Naturals, and she was like,
Uh-huh.
and she said it. She said the ants when she said a dog didn't like it, and the ants wouldn't even eat it. I was like, dang,
Yeah.
the ants
Yeah.
wouldn't eat the Diamond Naturals. I was like, whoa, I never heard that, but she said she never fed that though before. She
Yeah.
said she
Diamond
did
Naturals.
feed it, but she didn't feed it anymore.
Yeah, Diamond Naturals trash. I used to feed that for a minute.
Mm.
Like that's a trash dog food. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's true. ACR blood. He said twice a week. What you say? Twice a week, my dogs get what we ate for supper on that kibble. Don't give up on the kibble all the way. I mean, if that's what works for you, I mean, I definitely, you know what I'm saying? Uh I don't know what your supper is. Like if you could break down what some of the supper things you eat for supper. Child, where you going, man?
Bro, I dropped my phone.
Oh,
Yeah, I dropped my
some of the things you eat for supper, and I would love to know because I don't know. Like I don't know what supper. Yo, this dude, man, this dude is just not serious.
I had to pick my phone up, dog. Go ahead, man.
You distracted me. I'm trying to
I
talk to the brother.
apologize. I apologize.
Um, but yeah, sometimes always thought like supper was like soup or things like that. So I'm not sure what you have for supper. So let me know what you have for supper, man, and you know what I mean, that'd be a little bit more beneficial. Um, that I could really say. But he said that's only twice a week, so I get it. You know what I mean? That's like a little treat for them, I would guess. You know.
Yeah, that's what I would say. Yeah.
hmm
Mm.
And that's not bad. It's not like you saying every day this is what I feed. So it's not bad. I would just love to know what you give them for supper.
Mm.
I
Mhm.
definitely want to know. I wanted to talk about show dogs for a minute. I wanted to talk about show dogs for the simple reason that hold on, let me go back to the Duro notes. Um, the disadvantage of pedigrees, right, is that your dog may have. Hold on, pardon me. He said 100%. It does depend on what we eat. Okay. And you said supper is dinner in the Midwest. Okay. See, I'm from the East Coast, bro, so I'm not familiar with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm from the East
ACR, where
Coast.
you from, bro?
Shout out from ACR, man.
For sure.
Round of applause for ACR. I don't know. Midwest could be anywhere, right?
Chicago.
Chicago, yeah, that's the
Yeah,
first place I thought of.
yeah, yeah.
But
So you said you want to talk about show dogs. What we gonna talk about with the show
yes,
dogs, man?
yes. So I wanted to talk about the disadvantages of the pedigrees, and then I wanted to get in to the ABKC and the UKC and all that, for the simple reason that, hold on, I don't want to jump ahead. But so the disadvantage of pedigrees. So your dog might have health problems due to a tight breeding, bloodline, meaning you might get bad legs because it was, inbred or too tight, cherry eye, chicken feet, the high rear, all of those things. So we know for a fact, right? We know for a fact, we see that with a lot of breeders. Am I right?
Yes, sir. Some of the bigger ones too, they might have the cherry eye and the bad feet, and Mr. Price said in our part one, which was an amazing part one. If
Go
you
ahead.
if you've missed it, go back and watch the part one with me and Mr. Price on puppy development and whelping. He said a lot of breeders will hide feet in pictures, or like say the parents or even the puppies, they'll hide the feet because some people know what to look for,
Right.
and they'll see the feet, and then they'll or they'll try and hide them because the dog's too heavy, or just the feet genetically aren't what they should be or what they want.
Right. We got our
Yellow jumped up out of there like, man,
He was on his Tupac stuff, bro.
yeah.
I thought it was a problem or something.
When he was at the casino,
Yeah. I'm gonna just mute him for a minute so he.
that might. Yellow, you good, bro?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah. I had to hop out.
Man, said you jumped out the car like Tupac when he was at the casino.
I had to check on something. That's all. Yeah, now I'm back though.
Okay, Duro, say something. I think your volume cut out. Oh,
Yeah. So you muted me. Yeah, we can't hear you.
try and mute yourself or unmute yourself or something like that. Oh, yeah, can't hear you. They didn't sent the hit out. Well, we've hit it. We've hit the limit, y'all.
You think it's because he muted me? Let me.
He might have messed it up somehow. I don't unplug your mic, bro. Do something.
And he'll come back.
Yeah. He said he wanted to talk about the
pedigree and the show dogs.
Yeah. But I don't know what topic he wanted to talk about.
Damn, I never hopped out this van.
We can't. I ain't gonna say we can't blame it on you because I don't know what happened. All right, say something. Yeah, no.
Nah.
Yeah, no, brother. Dang, we was cooking. They sent the hit out. Yeah, we can't hear you, bro. You want me just cut this? You mean? All right. Well, y'all, we had Duro Ricio Bully Camp. This was a dual show. I streamed this on my end as well. Y'all, my supporters showed Duro some love. He's a common face at Catch Dog Concepts. Yellow one, his brother, he a good brother. Always bring his best to the topics at hand. This was another episode of Duro Lounge. We appreciate you. Stay tuned for Catch Dog Concepts and Duro Lounge. We got that work coming once again. Big Catch Dog out. Yellow one. Anything you want to say, brother?
Hey man, I appreciate the cook up, man. Hey, whenever I'm not busy, I'm always come through, man. I appreciate y'all for having me.
Yes, sir. All right, Darrell, go ahead. Let's end it. Let's hit it.